What if a simple bowl of broth could protect your muscles better than the most expensive supplements? What if the secret to staying strong after 60 isn't hidden in a pill but simmering right on your stove? And what if this warm, humble comfort food could help you rebuild strength, ease your joints, and even slow the effects of aging? Hi there, I'm Dr. Nana, and welcome to Senior Health Boost. Every year in the US, nearly 1 in 3 adults over 60 faces sarcopenia, that silent loss of muscle that quietly steals strength, balance, and independence. Many people turn to bone broth, thinking it's a magic fix, and yes, it helps, but here's the truth most people never hear. There are foods even richer in the building blocks your muscles truly need. Today, I'll show you exactly which ones and a few common foods that could be quietly sabotaging all your efforts. But before we dive in, let me ask you, do you believe what you eat today can truly turn back muscle loss? Drop a 1 in the comments if you believe food is powerful, or oh if you're still unsure. I promise you, I read every single reply. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our community here on Senior Health Boost, because in just a moment, you're going to discover the most surprising and most effective liquid foods for stronger muscles, healthier joints, and graceful aging. And trust me, the twist will surprise you even more than the cure itself. When most people hear the word collagen, they immediately think of pricey powders or trendy drinks. But one of the richest and most overlooked natural sources of collagen comes from something humble: beef tendon broth, or sometimes pork skin simmered slowly until it releases its essence. What makes this so powerful? It's packed with gelatin, a natural form of collagen that many commercial supplements actually lack. Gelatin carries unique peptides that directly support muscle repair and cushion your joints, vital for anyone over 60 who wants to keep moving with ease. And this isn't just opinion, it's science. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consumed gelatin-rich broth before resistance exercise doubled their collagen production compared to those who didn't. In simple terms, your muscles and joints can literally rebuild faster with this food than with supplements alone. And unlike powders that sometimes sit heavy in your stomach, broth is warm, soothing, and deeply nourishing. I remember Mr. Johnson, a 78-year-old retired carpenter. For decades, his knees carried the weight of his craft. By the time he came to me, he could barely cross his living room without wincing. He had tried collagen capsules but saw little change. Once he began sipping a cup of tendon broth a few evenings each week, the difference was remarkable. Within 3 months, his knee stiffness eased, and his morning walks grew longer and steadier. He smiled and told me, "Doc, it feels like oil in an old hinge." That simple broth gave him back the confidence to enjoy his grandkids' soccer games again. So how can you use it? It's easy. Simmer beef tendons or pork skin for several hours with onions, carrots, and a handful of herbs. What you'll get is a golden, fragrant broth rich in collagen and flavor. You can sip it plain before dinner, whisk in an egg for extra protein, or use it as a base for a simple vegetable soup. The key is consistency. A few cups each week can make a difference. You feel in your grip, your steps, and even the way you rise from a chair. And here's a little secret: this broth is just the beginning. Because the next kind of collagen-rich broth doesn't just strengthen muscles, it adds compounds that cushion your joints in ways beef tendon alone cannot. That's where the real surprise begins. Chicken feet broth. I know it doesn't sound elegant, but for generations around the world, this has been considered liquid gold for strength and healing. Modern research shows why. A single cup of chicken feet broth provides 15 to 18 grams of collagen, far more than most commercial supplements offer in one serving. Even better, it contains both type I and type II collagen, along with glucosamine and chondroitin, the same compounds doctors often prescribe in pill form for joint support. Why does that matter? Type I collagen strengthens muscles, tendons, and skin. Type II collagen specifically cushions your joints. So when you enjoy that comforting bowl of broth, you're not just warming your body, you're rebuilding it from the inside out. And that leads us right into our next discovery, a broth that not only restores collagen but also helps your joints move with the grace and flexibility of youth. As we just discovered on the last page, chicken feet broth delivers both power and comfort, a warm, collagen-rich elixir that rebuilds joints and restores confidence. But what makes it even more fascinating is what happens when you add a few extra healing nutrients into the mix. When you pair collagen with glucosamine and chondroitin, you create a natural formula that not only helps rebuild muscle, but also melts away the pain and stiffness that sneak into aging knees and shoulders. Studies published in Arthritis Research and Therapy reveal that older adults who regularly consume collagen combined with these compounds enjoy noticeably better joint mobility within just 12 weeks. For seniors, that's more than comfort, it's independence. It's the freedom to bend down, to garden, to dance, or to climb the stairs without hesitation. I think of Mrs. Harris, a 70-year-old grandmother with a contagious laugh and a lifelong love for gardening. For decades, her backyard had been her sanctuary, a place filled with roses, basil, and the hum of bees. But gradually, her knees began to ache after only a few minutes of kneeling. The pain forced her to step away from the soil she adored. She tried over-the-counter pain relievers, but they upset her stomach and left her drained. Then, during one of our visits, Dr. Nana suggested something remarkably simple: a few cups of chicken feet broth each week. At first, she wrinkled her nose. The idea didn't sound appealing, but she was determined. So she simmered the broth 3 times a week: chicken feet, onions, garlic, a bit of ginger, until her kitchen filled with a warm, savory aroma that reminded her of home. 2 months later, she was back in her garden, hands in the dirt, smile on her face. She told me, "Dr. Nana, it feels like I got my hands and knees back." It wasn't a miracle pill, it was a pot quietly bubbling on her stove. And that's the real beauty of chicken feet broth, its simplicity and versatility. You can simmer the feet with vegetables and herbs until the broth turns rich and golden. Some of my patients whisk it with an egg to make a quick, protein-packed soup. Others use it as a base for vegetable stews, or simply sip it warm before dinner as a soothing ritual. But here's where it gets even more exciting. As wonderful as chicken feet broth is, there's another source of collagen that your body can absorb even faster, and it comes straight from the ocean. Among all the broths known around the world, fish skin broth stands out as something truly special. It may not sound glamorous, but its nutritional profile is extraordinary. Just 1 cup provides roughly 12 to 15 grams of collagen, and because of its molecular structure, your body can absorb it up to 1.5 times faster than collagen from land animals. For older adults fighting sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, that speed really matters. Your muscles and joints don't only need building blocks, they need them delivered quickly and efficiently so they can stay strong, responsive, and resilient. But fish skin broth offers even more than collagen. It's naturally rich in omega-3 fatty acids and selenium, both known for their powerful anti-inflammatory and cell-protective effects. Think of inflammation as the silent thief of muscle health. It sneaks in, breaks down muscle fibers, and slows recovery without you even noticing. Omega-3s calm that fire, allowing your body to actually use the collagen you consume to rebuild and repair. Meanwhile, selenium acts as a shield against oxidative stress, the internal rusting that accelerates aging. Together, these nutrients form a trio: collagen, omega-3s, and selenium that strengthens tissue from the inside out. Cooking fish skin broth is simple, soothing, and surprisingly elegant. All you need is a few pieces of fresh fish skin, salmon, cod, or snapper. Work beautifully, a few slices of ginger, and a pinch of sea salt. Simmer it gently until the liquid turns light and fragrant, releasing that delicate ocean aroma that fills the kitchen. In the morning, pair a warm cup with a soft boiled egg. At lunch, stir it into a vegetable soup or rice porridge for a light, satisfying meal. At dinner, enjoy it alongside grilled salmon or sweet potatoes for a dish that feels both nourishing and complete. Each serving does more than comfort your stomach. It supports your muscles, joints, and even your heart. If you're wondering whether something this simple could really make a difference, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Type 1 in the comments if you believe food can heal, or O if you're still skeptical. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right here on Senior Health Boost so you never miss another insight that could keep you strong, mobile, and independent. Many of my patients tell me that the very act of stirring a simmering pot has become part of their healing. The steady rhythm of the spoon, the steam rising, the aroma of herbs, it's more than cooking. It's a form of meditation. Each bubble reminds them that they're doing something kind for their bodies, something natural, something that works. One of my favorite moments is when someone writes to me saying, "Dr. Nana, I don't just drink broth anymore, I look forward to it. It makes me feel like I'm rebuilding myself 1 cup at a time." Because that's what this is about. It's not a quick fix. It's a quiet reminder that you still have the power to protect your body, 1 sip, 1 meal, 1 choice at a time. And here's a little secret. When you combine fish skin broth with chicken feet broth, something remarkable happens. You're not just getting more collagen, you're creating a complete amino acid profile, a balanced mix of nutrients that helps your muscles recover faster and stay stronger longer. Think of it as a duet between land and sea, one rich in type I and 2 collagen, the other infused with omega-3s and trace minerals. Together, they form a synergy that nourishes every layer of your body, from your skin and joints to your tendons and connective tissue. But while these broths can work wonders, it's equally important to understand what can quietly undo their benefits. Here's where many people slip up, and it's something you might not expect. After all that effort to nourish your body, a single daily habit could be working against you. Many older adults assume that a small glass of wine or a cold beer with dinner won't make any difference to their health, especially if they're eating well and taking collagen. But research paints a different picture. Alcohol, even in modest amounts, can disrupt your body's natural collagen production, weaken muscle repair, and interfere with the absorption of amino acids, the very building blocks you're working so hard to replenish. So before you pour that evening drink, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this helping my body recover or slowing it down? In the next section, we'll dive deeper into this surprising connection and reveal how something as ordinary as a single glass can quietly chip away at the progress you've made. Because when it comes to rebuilding strength after 60, every sip counts, whether it's a healing broth or something that steals your recovery. Stay with me. On the next page, we'll uncover why alcohol and collagen don't mix and how to protect your body's healing power for years to come. Now that we've explored how collagen from broth can transform your strength and mobility, it's time to talk about one of the biggest mistakes that quietly blocks all those benefits, something so common that most people don't even think twice about it. I'm talking about alcohol. You might think a small glass of wine or whiskey before bed couldn't possibly matter. But research from the American Journal of Physiology shows otherwise. Alcohol can suppress mTOR signaling, the pathway your body uses to build new muscle protein, by as much as 37%. That means even a single drink, taken at the wrong time, can block the very muscle repair you're trying to support with collagen. And that's not all. Alcohol also interferes with collagen absorption itself. When it breaks down in your body, it forms toxic compounds called aldehydes that actually damage tissues instead of rebuilding them. I remember Mr. Thompson, a 70-year-old retired firefighter who came to me frustrated. He had been drinking tendon broth faithfully 3 nights a week and was proud of his consistency. But after 6 months, his progress had stalled, his strength wasn't improving, and his joints still ached. When I asked about his nightly routine, he mentioned something interesting: a small glass of whiskey before bed, always right after his broth. Once I explained the science, he was shocked. We changed just one thing. He cut out alcohol during the 24 hours before and after his collagen intake. 2 months later, the results spoke for themselves. His morning stiffness eased. His endurance during walks improved. Even his sleep became deeper and calmer. He told me, "Dr. Nana, I never thought one glass could cancel out all that effort." And that's exactly the danger. Alcohol doesn't just block the benefits of collagen, it often creates new damage that speeds up the very problems collagen is meant to fix. Those aldehydes generated during alcohol breakdown can stiffen tissues, weaken skin elasticity, and inflame joints. In other words, while collagen works to restore flexibility, alcohol quietly pushes the body in the opposite direction towards stiffness, pain, and faster aging. For older adults already vulnerable to sarcopenia, that setback can mean slower recovery after exercise, greater risk of falls, and eventually, a loss of independence. The lesson is simple but powerful. Alcohol may seem harmless in moderation, but when it comes to collagen, timing is everything. To get the full benefit, avoid alcohol for at least 24 hours before and after you take collagen. Think of it as giving your muscles and tissues a quiet, protected window to rebuild without interference. It's like letting construction workers repair a house without anyone shaking the scaffolding. Give your body the peace it needs to do its job. And once you've handled that, there's another hidden challenge most people overlook, something many of us start our day with, completely unaware it can also interfere with collagen's work: coffee. Now, before you panic, I'm not here to tell you that coffee is the enemy. In fact, for many people, that warm morning cup brings comfort, focus, and even joy. The problem isn't the coffee itself, it's the timing. Here's why. Collagen works best in a well-hydrated environment. Your body needs plenty of water to carry amino acids through your bloodstream so they can reach and repair muscle and joint tissue. Caffeine, however, especially in higher amounts, acts as a diuretic. It pulls water out of your system. That mild dehydration might not feel dramatic, but it can quietly make it harder for collagen to reach the exact places your body is trying to strengthen. And when hydration drops, collagen's delivery slows down like traffic on a road with too many detours. Research from the Journal of Applied Physiology confirms this. Even slight dehydration reduces the efficiency of muscle protein synthesis, meaning your body simply doesn't use collagen as effectively as it could. The fix is surprisingly easy, and you don't have to give up your coffee. It's all about spacing and balance. If you enjoy your morning brew, go ahead. Just keep it 1 to 2 hours apart from your collagen intake. Have your coffee with breakfast, then save your collagen-rich broth or supplement for a mid-morning snack or an early dinner. This small adjustment gives your body time to rehydrate and ensures caffeine won't interfere with collagen's journey. Hydration is key here. For every cup of coffee you drink, follow it with at least 1 glass of water to restore fluid levels. And if you're over 60, adding a small pinch of electrolytes or a squeeze of lemon can help your body hold on to that hydration even better. It might sound like a small detail, but over time, it can make a real difference in how your muscles feel, how easily your joints move, and how energized you feel throughout the day. So the next time you prepare your morning coffee, think of it as a friendly partner to your collagen routine, as long as they take turns. After all, caring for your body isn't about strict rules, it's about smart timing, gentle consistency, and giving your cells the best possible environment to heal. Let me ask you, do you think you could make one small shift in your daily routine if it meant protecting your muscles for years to come? Type 1 in the comments if you're ready to make that change, or O if you're still thinking about it. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to Senior Health Boost and hit the bell icon, so you never miss the next insight from me, Dr. Nana. Simple, science-backed tips to keep your body strong, flexible, and full of life. Because up next, we're going to explore how your daily stress patterns and nighttime habits can also make or break your collagen results, and how just one peaceful ritual before bed could completely change the way you age. You might think your morning coffee is the main thing standing between you and the full benefits of collagen, but here's the surprise. Coffee isn't nearly as harmful as what's coming next. Because this next food doesn't just block collagen. It can actually create toxic compounds that inflame your body, weaken your tissues, and speed up the loss of precious muscle mass. And the shocking part, it's something you'll find on countless American breakfast plates every single morning. Yes, I'm talking about bacon. At first glance, bacon looks innocent enough. It's crispy, flavorful, and nostalgic. The sound of it sizzling in a pan has been the soundtrack of American mornings for generations. But beneath that comforting aroma lies a cocktail of compounds that quietly work against your muscle and joint health. Bacon is loaded with sodium, nitrates, and phosphates, 3 things your body doesn't handle well as you age. High sodium forces your body to hold on to excess water, putting extra stress on your tissues, joints, and blood vessels. Meanwhile, nitrates and phosphates act like sparks that ignite inflammation, the very process that accelerates muscle breakdown and joint pain. But the real danger happens when bacon meets collagen. When nitrates from bacon combine with the amino acids in collagen, they form nitrosamines, highly toxic compounds linked not only to inflammation but also to long-term tissue damage. Instead of helping your muscles rebuild, this pairing can push your body in the exact opposite direction, towards stiffness, weakness, and accelerated aging. For older adults already fighting sarcopenia, that's a risk too costly to ignore. I think back to one of my patients, a retired engineer who loved his classic breakfast of bacon and eggs. He was dedicated, faithfully adding collagen broth to his routine every evening. But after months, his progress was disappointing. His joints still hurt, and his energy levels barely improved. When we reviewed his diet together, the answer was clear. It wasn't the collagen failing him. It was the bacon. He made one simple change, swapping bacon for grilled chicken sausage with a sprinkle of rosemary and fresh herbs. Within a few weeks, his energy felt steadier, his knees were less swollen, and he could climb the stairs without gripping the railing. He told me, "Dr. Nana, I didn't realize breakfast could make such a difference." And it truly can. Sometimes the smallest swap changes everything. The good news is that there are plenty of delicious, savory alternatives to bacon that still satisfy that breakfast craving without the toxic downside. Try fresh turkey breast with a hint of rosemary, or a small portion of wild-caught fish like salmon or sardines. Even a lean piece of grilled chicken paired with vegetables or a soft-boiled egg can give you that same satisfaction, rich in protein, full of flavor, and kind to your muscles. Beyond the science, there's also something deeply empowering about making that choice. Many older adults tell me that removing bacon from their breakfast wasn't just about cutting out a food, it was about taking control. Control over habits that had quietly harmed them for years. Each time they filled their plate with healthier proteins, they felt stronger, not just in their bodies, but in their confidence. They were choosing healing over habit, renewal over routine. And that mindset, paired with the right sources of collagen, created a ripple effect that reached far beyond the kitchen. Their posture improved. Their steps became lighter. They could walk, garden, play, or laugh without that constant fear of pain or fatigue pulling them back. Because ultimately, this journey isn't about restriction, it's about reclaiming freedom. Today, we've explored the 5 hidden truths behind your body's natural rebuilding power. We learned that while bone broth has its place, the real strength lies in broths made from beef tendon, chicken feet, and fish skin, each offering a unique form of collagen and nutrients that protect your muscles, joints, and even your heart. We also uncovered the quiet saboteurs, the everyday habits that can cancel out your progress without you realizing it. Alcohol that blocks repair, coffee taken too close to collagen intake, and bacon, that tempting breakfast staple that quietly fuels inflammation. For older adults, every meal is an opportunity, a chance to fight back against muscle loss, not with expensive pills or complicated routines, but with simple, nourishing traditions passed down through generations and now proven by science. Think of each cup of broth as more than food. It's a quiet commitment to strength, to independence, and to all the small moments that make life beautiful. Walking in the park, carrying groceries, hugging your grandchild without pain. That's what this journey is truly about. So tonight, when you sit down to dinner, maybe it's with a bowl of golden broth, fragrant, warm, and filled with everything your body needs to heal. With each sip, you're not just feeding your body, you're reminding it how to restore itself. Let me ask you, have you ever tried making your own collagen-rich broth at home, or do you rely on store-bought options? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to find hope and take that first small step toward healing. And if this video inspired you or helped you understand your body a little better, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Senior Health Boost, and join our growing community of people who believe aging doesn't mean slowing down, it means getting smarter, stronger, and more intentional about the way we live. Because here at Senior Health Boost, we're not just sharing information, we're building a movement. A community of men and women who believe that with the right habits, your best years are still ahead. Together, we'll keep exploring the quiet science of aging, while one meal, one habit, one peaceful night at a time. I'm Dr. Nana, and I want to thank you for spending your time with me today. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and take care of yourself the way your body deserves. Here's to your health, your freedom, and your future, one cup of broth at a time. And remember, you're never too old to rebuild.